that is a season 2023-2024, we did see NEC Football Club getting in as the services over Okocha Rashid. And then halfway, they also did get the services over, there is Gaddafi Wahab Thiago, commonly called as Jumani, in there. And moreover, the names are simply because maybe of their two coaches, there is the head coach, Mr. Mbalangu, in there, who is being assisted by Dudu Bosco. You know, these are people who have ever worked with West Nile clubs. These are people who know the strengths of our West Nile players in here. So basically, they get to attain in the services of our own West Nile people here and take them down to NEC Football Club. Even a couple of players that have left Onduporoka Football Club that have joined down there, and most of the clubs in there. And of course, somehow last week there were Fiesta qualifiers, group stages games that did go on, where we did see a couple of primary schools taking place in there. And in some of the results that Wiso Time Desk did compile, we did see Oshindi Primary School taking part. St. Leo also did play in these games. Bright Horizon, Niva Primary, we did see Ambiambati Star Biriambati Star Primary, also moreover the schools that did participate in there. And in some of the results, where particularly we did look at St. Leo Primary and Nursery, they did play Oshindi Primary School, and St. Leo lost to Oshindi Primary School 1-0 in there. And then St. Leo also did play, there is a Bright Horizon, and they did lose to a Bright Horizon as well, 1-0. And then Christ the King beat, there is a Bright, Christ the King did beat St. Leo 2-0. That was in the boys category. And then when you go down to the girls category, you will also get to see that Niva Primary School did beat St. Leo Primary School 22-2, and then Biriambati did also win 10 scores on to 9 there. And then somehow moreover the schools and some of the participations did go down there. And then over the weekend, we also did have an exclusive interview about the transfer of Arua Hill Soccer Club to there is Credo Primary and Nursery in there, where basically there were some key points that I did note down as Wiso Time Desk. With there is with the CEO of the now Arua Hill Soccer Club that has been moved sadly from Arua City to there is Gulu in there. Now the club will be based in Gulu, and acquisitions and procedures and the rest have already been done in there. And now officially Arua Hill Soccer Club moves to Gulu and under the ownership of Credo Primary and Nursery in there. And some of the key aspects that I did get in some of the discussions included Credo Primary School now takes over Arua Hill from Development Infrastructure, there is DI, with undisclosed details, of course. And also there is a new management in place because somehow if you did see everything about the takeover of Arua Hill Soccer Club, a lot of questions did come through where people were like the usual management of Arua Hill that was here in West Nile still going to remain, even while the other side. And then there were a couple of questions that did come through where people kept asking us or the streets, like, is the management going to remain? Are we still going to see the same faces that did rule Arua Hill Soccer Club while back here? Because somehow, even as they were not performing or as they were not taking part in some of these games or in the league, because they told them to come home and prepare to take part in there is a big league, we did see them getting in a new CEO, we did see them getting in a new coach and all that. So basically, We are here to tell you that with the exclusive that we did have with one reliable source from Credo, and now there is owns the management of Arua Hill Soccer Club. He did say that Credo Primary School has taken fully over Arua Hill Soccer Club from DI there, and there is a new management in place. And then they also have retained engineer Aita Joel as the club advisor. Due to his sound connections. Those are some of the words that this gentleman did put in very clearly in there, which means that they are still very interested in working with the same man that did lead Arua Hill Soccer Club, that did govern Arua Hill Soccer Club well back here in West Nile. They still retain him, but now not as a director. This time around, they are retaining him as an advisor over the club. And then the team has already shifted, just like I had said, that the team has shifted from Arua down to Gulu. It will host games at Peche Stadium. I think this is one key information that every other person basically was waiting to hear, because now that the team had moved the other side, a lot of questions have been running here and there, because initially when the team was still here in Arua, we did hear them say that they were going to be hosting in their games at Arua Primary Playground, which has been under renovation, but now it's fully it's fully now working. And then also somehow we did hear them say that Arua Hill Soccer Club was going to be hosting in their games at Leju in Terego. But then shortly after that, we now started hearing also the rumors of Credo Nursery and Primary are coming up to take over. There is a Arua Hill Soccer Club, and now the news is very, very confirmed. It's genuine. It's now authentic, because we did get one-on-one exclusives with one representative that now comes from Arua Hill Soccer Club that is situated in Gulu. And this time around, their home games will be at Peche Stadium down there, and then Laibi Playgrounds 4 will be its training pitch, meaning because most times we see the teams that are hosting games somewhere do their trainings there, but also these days we see a lot of teams training in another different pitch, and then when it comes to game days, you also see them go and play games somewhere somehow. So basically that is that. And they will be training at Laibi Primary Playgrounds there, but then when it comes to game days, you will be seeing them at Peche Stadium. And then after a season, they will then change the club's name as it stands in there is the FUFA rules. So basically, a lot of questions, also a lot of questions were coming down here. People were asking whether as the team shifts to there is a Gulu, a lot of people were asking questions whether the name was going to remain, whether they were going to change the name, or something similar to that and all that. But then I can confirm to you that the name Arua Hill is basically going to remain, even as they go down to there is Gulu for basically one whole season down in Gulu. It will still be called Arua Hill, and then after that, that is when now we shall be seeing them changing in their name to that is when now we shall be seeing them changing the name back to, we don't know the name now they will give, but now they will cease using the name Arua Hill. But as this season is going to start, it's on a short notice that the season is starting. Of course, UPL kickstarts August, and then we shall be seeing a big league take shape in September. So basically, they are left with only and only this month in there. So somehow, as September is kickstarting already, we are in August. We all know that. So these people are looking at this whole thing being on a short notice. So they want to use the name Arua Hill as it is for this season. There is a big league season 2024-2025 as it runs down, and then they will change the name next season. A lot of questions that people have been asking out there: is Arua Hill's name still going to remain? They needed to change the name, but changing names has a very whole lot of a process. Yeah, it has a very long procedure that you're supposed to follow in here and there. So basically, I can confirm to you that the name remains as Arua Hill, even while it will be in Gulu in its new home. And after that, next season, when basically they would have moved to there is the biggest, of course, the top flight league in Uganda, there is UPL, because that is the mission. And definitely there is the mission of every other club that plays in a big league. Every other person plays, every other club plays to push through to the biggest football. There is sometimes Uganda Premier League. And that is also the ambition of Arua Hill Soccer Club that has been moved from West Nile, Arua City particularly, to Gulu, where they will be playing at Peche. They said their mission is, of course, moving to there is Star Times Uganda Premier League in there. But for this season, there will still be Arua Hill in Gulu. And then after this season will be done, come season 2025, season 2025-2026, they will now change their name. Whichever name they will be using, we shall definitely also be bringing it down to you here. And then, Sama, I want us to look at a very huge discussion on one player, one very key player that, of course, plays in Ghana in the names of Muhammad Nuruddin, who has been a player of Santa Kitoko Sporting Club, who has now terminated his running contract with the club to focus on his nursing career. This is to me, this has both the positive side and the negative side. Nuruddin has a contract with the Ghana Health Service as a nurse, and he has decided to focus on that path despite several attempts by Kitoko to change his decision, because he is, first of all, one, he is a very good player. Two, he still has a running contract with the Ghanaian side. So basically, he says no. I think with football, mine is enough. Let me focus on the nursing career. So, a lot of this is happening with most of our players. You could be seeing, as maybe you were growing up, you could be definitely seeing one player that was very, very good, maybe in the midfield or what, or something of that sort. But then, as the years go by, you find out that this very player now resigns, not officially, but is basically focusing on something else. I mean, what brings this? Yeah, what brings this? And to me, I think whatever it is that brings this could probably be that the working conditions within a club, or the working conditions of generally where this other person is not favoring. We've seen a lot of people retire at early ages. We've seen a lot of footballers branch. The other day we just saw one former Manchester United player who now is a pastor. So basically, a lot of questions come to your head as to why this happens. I mean, how does someone, of course, leave their path? Maybe how can someone, of course, leave their talent, leave their path and all that, and then go down to joining in another profession, and they feel that they are doing okay in that very profession. There could be a couple of issues. That definitely could be propelling these persons to move away from that very footballing career that, of course, could be pushing them somehow. So it's quite sad where we see a lot of young talents being treated badly, maybe because of financial constraints, maybe somehow because of bad economy and all that. There are a lot of reasons that could probably come through that push someone to leave the footballing career and, of course, shift into another profession that basically they could have studied in school, and they feel they're okay there. They feel now that is where they want to be, that is where they want to concentrate at, and all that. So basically, we've seen a lot of footballers losing out on their track. It's quite very sad, because such people, we need to nurture them. You never know, in the future they will definitely come down to represent there is our country in the various tournaments that will be coming through. That is that. And then somewhere, somehow also, we 2 years back, I don't know if most of you still remember that name, Haji Manara. He was banned somehow, just with our neighbors here. He was banned for 2 years not to take part in any footballing issues, be it appearing on game days and all that, but he made a heroic return. Manara's return sparks a new era in Tanzanian football in there. The Tanzanian football scene has once again been thrown into whirlwind of speculation and drama. Ali Kamwe, Young Africans head of communications, made a surprise announcement over his resignation on Sunday, only to resume his position following the day. On the following day, rather. Many believe this was a calculated move to generate buzz ahead of a younger day. Remember, despite significant strides, Tanzania's football landscape remains marred by gossip and off-field antics. Manara, known for his flamboyant and often controversial statements, is a master of this art. His return promises to reignite the heated rivalry between Simba and Young Africans, or younger if you like. As the dust settles on these developments, one thing is very clear. The drama is far from over. The stage is set for a new chapter of intense competition, both on and off the pitch. The return of Manara to Tanzanian football has sparked mixed reactions. While some view him as a divisive figure, others believe his unique brand of passion and charisma is essential for the growth of sports in Tanzania. Manara possesses an in-depth knowledge of football, and his extensive experience as a commentator and sports journalist has equipped him with, of course, a sharp analytical mind and a knack for storytelling in there, and engage his ability to craft compelling narratives and engage fans has made him a household name. However, his outspoken nature and propensity for controversy have often overshadowed his contribution. His 2-year ban from insulting the Tanzania Football Federation President Wale Sakaria serves as a reminder of his unpredictable behavior. I know quite a couple of you out there could be wondering who Manara is. He is the PRO of Young Africans, and he at one time did insult the president of the Tanzania Football Federation, and he was served a 2 years ban, completely off the scenes of sports, be it in any sports pitch, be it in any sports activity, not even analyzing sports, not even doing anything. Yeah, that was that. He was served a 2 years ban, and now the 2 years ban is over. He makes a grand return. And despite his flaws, Manara remains a powerful force in Tanzania football. His ability to mobilize for fans, attract sponsors, and enhance the overall spectacle of the game is undeniable. As a social media influencer with a massive following, he can significantly impact the sport's popularity. Manara's return has ignited, of course, a new era in the Tanzanian football down there. Manara became the lightning rod for the club during challenging times, facing widespread criticism. His outspoken nature, often laced with criticism, sarcasm, intensified during periods of poor team performances down there. Additionally, he has encountered personal challenges and controversies throughout due to him being very, very outspoken. And basically, we have, of course, also seen a lot of our people here having issues. Yeah, having issues here and there. having issues over controversial speeches, controversial sentences made on pitch, maybe due to annoyances. You hear someone making in weird utterances and all that. And basically, we always see that these people are served bans, yeah. But this time around, the ban that basically there has come through from the younger PRO, there is Haji Manara, and his exclusive return there is quite a very huge one for the Tanzanian football. And somehow Mamelodi Sundowner fans urged to emulate younger supporters. Yeah, if now your fans are, of course, your fans are quite putting up a very impressive discipline out there, behavior out there. Trust your team, trust your side, that a lot of people will definitely come through and want to copy that. After returning to South Africa, Mamelodi Sundowner's defensive midfielder Teboho Mokoena has challenged his outfit's fans to emulate younger supporters when the two sides met in the 2023-2024 CAF Champions League last 8 rematch at Loftus Versfeld Stadium in Tshwane on Friday. The Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam was filled to brim by Youngers fans in the first leg of this season's CAF Champions League quarterfinal on Saturday night. The two teams showed a highly tactical game, but the supporters had nothing to celebrate as the match eventually ended goalless. Sundowns Mokoena played the full game, which was his 40th match this season for the club and the country, just a couple of days after starring in the 3-3 draw for South Africa Bafana Bafanas against Algeria in the Olympics. Sundowner were at their fluent best despite dominating possession, as the home side showed defensive resilience while creating more chances with their swift counters. However, the game remained scoreless after there is the 90 minutes. Mokoena revealed that they were solid at the back, closed the spaces in the middle, and forced us out wide, which is something we don't normally do. Their game plan worked. While the conditions were extremely humid, as in the case of the evenings in East Africa, Mokoena says that it was not an excuse, but urged Sundowner fans to create the same hostile atmosphere created by Youngers fanatics when the second leg takes place on Friday in there is Tshwane down there. And basically we are waiting to see if there is the CAF Confederations return leg will also end on a goalless. But because, of course, in Tanzania, Youngers made sure they did tie them on a 0-0. But it's going to be quite very tough. And moreover, the CAF Confederation Cups also will be taking shape. From Uganda here, we definitely shall be having the winners and the champions of StarTimes Uganda Premier League season 2023-2024. There is a soccer club, Villa, representing us down there. They did give in their best in there is the Sekafa games down in Rwanda, where they did do their best in there. I don't know if the performances in Sekafa is quite going to be enough for them to go through the CAF Confederations Cup. We shall be doing